believe that the international college is doing a good job. People like to talk about the bad things at Tunghai, but I think we should start talking about the good things at Tunghai. And I think the international college is one of the good things. So it's very easy to talk about the bad, but let's talk about the good too. So please help us spread the good news about the international college. The other thing we can use help with is building partnerships for other schools. If you have any connections with other schools in America or schools, any other countries, we are always looking for opportunities for exchanges and dual degrees. And when I say exchanges, I don't mean for our students to go there only, but also for their students to come here. We have to improve the brand for Tunghai. Tunghai is a good school, but if nobody knows about it, nobody knows about it. We have to do a better job of promoting the good things about our universities. And one of those ways is to have students and teachers come here. And when they come here and they say, wow, Tunghai is really good, it spreads the word. So please help us spread the word. The other thing is recommend students to come to Tunghai. All right. If you're in America right now, you have a grandkid and they don't know where they want to study. Hey, Tunghai is a good option. I'm serious. Tunghai is a good option. All right. They can come here. If their Chinese is good, yay. If their Chinese not good, that's okay. Come here and improve their Chinese. It's been my experience about alumni. The first generation, usually the children, really don't care that much about it. It's usually the grandkids that want to get in touch with the roots. So if you have grandchildren, encourage them to come, right? Another thing that we need help with is both programs attract good international students. The international students for IPA, international students for the SSE program is really good. But we have problems recruiting domestic students for the SSE program. Part of it is nobody knows what SSE is. Nobody knows what sustainability is. What we did though this year, we offered, because of Tunghai alumni, we were able to offer a scholarship for SSE students. And this year we had the best class for SSE that we've ever had. Students don't come for the scholarships, but the scholarships encourage them to think about it. Most of the time when we introduce sustainability, students will say, what is that? I don't know anything about sustainability. I don't care about it. But we say, hey, if you come, sustainability is so important to us that we'll give you your scholarships. Students will take a second look. They won't just say, no way. They'll say, hey, wait a minute. Let me look at this. Let me look more about it. Let me take a closer look at this. So the scholarships is actually to encourage students to take a closer look of it. The way the scholarship work is this. For any student who come in through the the application process, we give them a 30,000 NT scholarship. They get 15,000 NT after the midterm exams. If they have good grades and they do well, they get $15,000 after the first semester midterm exam. And then in the second semester, if they do well after the midterm exam, we give them another $15,000 as a scholarship. So basically, we use it in two ways. We use it to encourage students to come in and study in the program. And we also use it as an encourage them to focus on their study. So it kills two birds with one stone. It helps us get good students, and it helps students to be good students. Now, methods of giving, all right? For people in America, you can give the United Board. The good thing about the United Board is this U.S. tax deductible, and here's a link to it. If you give money via the UB United Board, please mark under it for international college. If you give it to Tunghai, that's great, but if it goes to Tunghai, the international college will never see it. Right? So it's very important that if you give money and you want to give to the international college, under Tunghai, under institutional option, please click on international college. All right, because otherwise you're giving to Tunghai, which is good, but from my perspective, it doesn't come to us. So that's the last slide. I know I talked a lot, and I talked in English, and 其实我中文没有那么好，拍谁 So if anybody have any questions or like more details, I'll be glad to try to answer. Vice President Chow, are you still there? If you're there, I want to say, President Chow, thank you very much for your giving us a good start to the program.
Well, I'm here. Thanks, James.
Yeah, it's very important. 那个中文真的好的开始是成功的一半啊。So 谢谢。So that's very important to say. Right?
Well, first of all, James, I thank you for carrying the responsibility for quite a few years now. And I can see that you're still very enthusiastic. You have a lot of energy and certainly the leadership to proceed. I can see that the IDP program could be a very inspirational program other than what we had before. And I see that in the comments that Bobby and George had some suggestion to the IDP program, so maybe they can talk about it.
Okay.
Bobby, can you talk about
the IDP program?
Yes.
Basically, the ID program, what I see is as a gateway, as a way to enter the university, but not an exit. The honest truth is, I don't think the international college should not concentrate on content knowledge for all areas. But we can be a gateway for students who want to study in those areas.
Sure.
So that's the whole purpose of the Bufanshi. I wish we could have it for Bandisres and not only for international students. Hopefully Tunghai will come up with some way that other schools have a Bufanshi where they can actually study multiple disciplines for the domestic students. I hope we can do that sometime, but that international college can't do that. Right? I'm trying to figure out how to read comments. Oh no.
No,
okay. The students actually take each semester. They take 12 credits in each semester, 12 credits, and those credits. A lot of those classes are actually Chinese language learning courses. They get credits for taking Chinese classes. It used to be 本来如果一个外籍学生要来东海的话，他中文不好的话，他要花1年在那个华语中心学中文。可是那个时候那个1年没有水分，1年以后就可以上一个系，可是上那个系以后还要念4年了。可是那个不分系的方法也第1年进来的时候可以学中文，也那个通识的课也可以上。这样的第2年转到别的系，就是4年以内就可以毕业。其实逢甲已经有这个 program， 很多大学已经有这个 program for international students. Tunghai is kind of late into this game, but I'm hoping that we can target certain departments that want to increase their international students, and that we can help them serve a way to recruit students. Sometimes when I'm in meeting about reviewing international students' application, 有的系我说看哦，这个外籍学生我不要，他中文不好哦，我们没办法找他。So that student doesn't come to Tunghai. That student goes someplace else. So 部分系 is okay. The student comes in here first, study Chinese for a year, take some general education courses, then go to the other department. Right now, we're working with hospitality management, food science, animal science, life science, and chemistry. These are the departments that are very interested. Oh, also engineering, chemical engineering and electrical engineering. These are the departments that would like to have more international students. But the problem is they have lots of teachers that cannot offer classes in English. So the response is, okay, let the students come to us first. And after 1 year, they're your students. All right. So that's a way to have more international students at other departments along that line. I don't know if I answer your question or not, but
No.
I think we need to move to the next.
Bobby is offering some suggestions, so maybe we should let him talk.
Okay.
Okay.
Let him talk first.
Bobby.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Dr. Sings, President Chow, how are you? President Chow is actually, I respect him as my big brother.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dr. Sings, I have been a visiting lecturer to your department. I don't know whether you remember me. I give a free talk and I donate my my pay to Western Literature Department when you were in charge. To make a long story short, I have a few questions. I would say you are running not a good program, but a great program. That's the difference. You are running a great one.
不好意思，都不no. We try our best.
My comment first is I used to be one of my previous jobs. I was an assistant dean for School of Business for University of Texas. And our challenge is they all look for partnership in China, not Taiwan. My question number one for you is, how do we differentiate ourselves from China to show that not only Donghai, but Taiwan is a great choice? And my second question is, you talk about sustainability program. I would suggest to add one more courses in that program, which is either you can call it social responsibility or you can call it business ethics. Lots of the students I met, they do not understand when you do business, you should have integrity, you should be an honest person. Those fundamental things are not taught in any colleges, which are my 2 cents.
I agree 100%. We do offer elective courses. Those are only the required courses. And social responsibility is a key important ethics. For our business program, those are required courses. For the sustainability program, we're planning to add those. Especially right now, a lot of corporations, what they really are looking for is people who can help them make sure they're up to their certain ethical standards, especially when it comes to their employees overseas, making sure that their companies actually have, they have a contractor or a producer overseas, that they were actually up to these kind of social standards along that line. I agree with that. China has always been a big problem for us. A lot of schools that I deal with, if they have a Confucius Institute, it makes it very difficult. A lot of their Chinese language programs have connections with programs in China. This has always been very frustrating for me. China is always one of these things that we always have to be careful of, because the faculty members at a lot of universities, some faculty members in America that are from China are very cautious. I want to be careful. They're very cautious about having anything to do with Taiwan. Actually, a lot of the schools that I've been working with are small liberal arts colleges, because they're not as influenced by the big money from China. This is frustrating. There's schools like Davidson College. You guys never heard of Davidson College, but it's a very top tier private university, Trinity University. These kind of small liberal arts college, Bethel University, Carthage universities. These are small Christian universities. They're part of what's called CCCU universities. These are the universities I've been targeting most with. But first, you talk about the University of Texas, hook 'em horns. If you have any connections at the University of Texas, send them my way. We'll get them there. I was working with the University of Texas on San Antonio. Is it University of Texas? There's a Texas A&M San Antonio. We had a former dean, Walter Dunn, who's there, and we were going to have some students and teachers come there, but we got bit by China. I mean, that's the only way I can say it. Sometimes it's very difficult working with certain universities. Right now, there's one university I'm trying very hard to get their students to come, Syracuse University. Syracuse University, they're interested in it, but we have to convince certain people that Taiwan's a good option. But this is what I want to say about this. And when I say this, you got to realize Taiwan's my home. I've been here for 35 years, or actually longer than that. My children were born in Taiwan. My children grew up in Taiwan. My son is a teacher at an elementary school in Hsinchu. He's been teaching for 5 years now. 我是台湾人. If we can get people to come to Taiwan and experience it, they will come back. The question is, how do we get them to come here? How do we get them to think, hey, Tunghai is a good option. Taiwan's a good option. That's what I need your help with. That's what you help. If we can convince people to come here, they'll come back. They'll be like a boomerang. Right? They'll come back. The question is, how do we get them here? And if you can help me with that, you put me in contact with somebody at the University of Texas, any kind of connections, I'll try my best to get them to come. Right? And if you can help me, all the better. It's been my experience when you deal with American universities, it has to be somebody within the American university system to build that relationship. I can knock on the door all the time, but I always be an outsider. But if there's a professor at one particular school and they're willing to say, hey, let's think about going to Tunghai, or let's think about going to Taiwan, that makes all the major difference. Basically every connection I built at different schools has been with mostly Tunghai alumni, connections within those schools. Yang Chen has been a big help. Yang Chen from Philadelphia, New Jersey. He's been a big help building connections with many schools. So you guys, alumni, help me. Now I'll try my best. All right. You give me, you crack that door, you open that door a little bit, I'll try my best to get in. All right. And we can do it. We want as many people as possible to come here, and we want to promote our brand. We have a good brand, and we got to promote that brand. And that means letting people know about it. And we've got to share good words about our program. We've got to, we can't talk bad about Tunghai. When we talk about Tunghai, we've got to talk about the good. It's easy to talk about the bad. It's too easy. It's taken me a lifetime to realize this. Many times Chao Fu knows that I've always talked about the bad things, but I have a new philosophy. We talk about the good. We promote the good. That's what people want to hear. That's what we need to promote. So next time you say anything about Tunghai, stop and think, is this good? It doesn't mean that we don't have to change. It doesn't mean that we do everything the same way. It doesn't mean we don't solve the problems. But we gotta promote our brand. You know, when I go to Japan, when I go to Korea, and I visit a university, I go to a Japanese university. The first thing I see is that all the students have the same jacket. They're proud of their university. Why aren't our students doing that? Why don't we promote our brand? One thing I'm very, 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 very proud about the international colleges, our students are proud to be in the international college. They're happy to be in the international college. Every year, when I look at the test results, I don't care about the student's score. What I look at is, what choice are we? Are we the student's first choice? Or are we the student's second choice? I get happy when we're the first choice. Most of the students who come to IBA, our program is their first choice. I don't care if their test scores, 那个学测是丁标, but we're their second choice. 我不要了. You test hell, but I'm your second choice. 我不要你啊. I don't want to say, oh, I'm my wife's second choice. My wife wanted somebody else, but I'm her second choice. No. I want my students to say, I want to be at Tunghai. I want to be in the international college. I don't care if they're 准标, 清标, 丁标. I want them to be here because they want to be here. 我最讨厌学生说, oh, I came to Tunghai because I couldn't get into a good university. No. You're here because Tunghai is a good university. You're here because you want to be here. That's the 那拍谁，我真的很啰嗦。That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. And I think we can do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. I'm sorry. 我真的很啰嗦。I get too excited. So.
I think we already passed the time. We need to move on to the next speaker.
Sorry.
But 真的很谢谢 James， 真的讲得非常好。那我们也知道你需要怎么帮忙。可是我们必须 move on。然后当第二个 speaker 讲完了以后 ，we have more time. We can let people ask you questions. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, 谢谢。那请